Hello everyone, this is Crota, giving you a shoutcast in a game between MarineKingPrime and oGsMC here on MLG Shakura's Plateau. oGsMC spawning on the top right hand side as the red Protoss player, meanwhile Marine King spawning as the blue Terran. Customary for MLG, as MLG really wants you to stick with those red and blue colors as opposed to changing all of your colors. I think it's actually in the rulebook. So you'll see a lot more red and blue matches. Makes it much easier to follow the action as long as you're not red-blue colorblind. I don't think anyone actually is. Red-green probably one of the most common color blindnesses out there. Now, taking a look at the map so far, you see Marine King doing pretty much a safe build, and both players staying inside their base. MC is not going to try to do a Forge fast expansion at all, since Marine King isn't a Zerg player, and they both really want to figure out what the other player is doing. Now, I haven't been casting a lot of Terran versus Protoss lately, so I'll try to discover what high-level players are doing. Most likely, we will see Marine King be setting up a barracks right around now, and then we'll see whether he goes for an early gas or not. If he doesn't get for that 13 gas, he could go into a fast command center and just build another supply depot and a command center. Otherwise, he could go for a refinery and try to go for a Reaper expansion, as this is a rather macro-intensive map. Probe now making his way around as well, going to quickly scout out that he's in the wrong location and then continue to move along his merry way. Back over here, the barracks looks like it will be completed, but I do not believe a Marine will be trained up in time unless the probe goes a little bit too far, and it looks like it might go a little bit too far in. The additional 5 seconds on that build time, though, definitely going to change things up there, as a Marine now going to be trained and most likely adding a supply depot on the low ground. That probe will be able to stick its head up here, take a look around, and see that there is going to be some early gas added. The orbital command a little bit later. I'm not sure if Marine King did that on purpose. He built an additional SCV and also started the supply depot. So that may have been a deliberate, as we now see a Marine on the high ground just protecting that front door. Meanwhile, MC is opening up with double assimilators. So 2 assimilators, there is that cybernetics core, 1 gateway, most likely will train a zealot followed by a stalker. Whether or not those units do move out is a completely different question, as MC is really doing a great job placing pylons all across, all inside his base to make sure that no drops, and he has a lot of vision. Now, as long as he continues to keep track of that mini-map, he shouldn't have a problem. There is that Stalker now being chrono boosted out, as I mentioned. And will MC go for a Nexus, or a Nexus and a 3-gate expand? Or will he go for 2 gateways and then a robotics facility? That is the key question there, as there is a Stargate. Wow, MC opening up with the Stargate instead, so he may be able to warp in a pylon down here and then move in units. We can see that there is a starport now being trained, a Hellion being added, and I think Marine King is going to have a lot of problems. If he tries to add on a tech lab and then goes into Banshees, the Void Rays and Phoenixes are just going to be able to shoot it down ever so easily. SCV can quickly see that he is not in the right location, and he has no idea what is currently going on inside the base of MC. The Stalker will be able to shut down that SCV there, as now the probe going to look to come back and perhaps get a little bit more information, a little bit more scouting information, as the probe now tries to come up, and it is going to get taken down. Yes, it is going to get taken down. That probe's days are pretty much numbered. The probe not going to be able to do very much at all. Down it goes. So both players losing their scouting probes, but I still think MC is playing a little bit more well-informed this time around. Medevac now being added, Marine, so this is almost like a very low gas build. Not quite sure why Marine King has double refineries right now, as he's only training up Hellions, Medevacs, and Marines. He doesn't need that additional there. Oh, he's going to follow it up with a little bit of Banshee play, it appears. But will it be effective, as 2 Phoenixes are now making their way out across? There's also a Medevac coming in, and is it going to be spotted? These Phoenixes are going to be able to start picking up units and dropping them down. And that is going to be really bad news, as if he starts to train up a Banshee, he may just be out of scouting information completely. Medevac also going to get shot down a little bit as well. The Marines are coming in, and is the Medevac going to be able to do anything at all? Yes, the Medevac is going to be able to drop down those Hellions, and the Hellions are now going to try to get some damage in, but no, Phoenixes completely shut them down. As one Phoenix goes down, another Hellion, and this is a cover fire drop that is normally used against Zerg. So very interesting as a cover fire drop now coming in. Hellions now trying to push in as well. Marines on the backside, but I think that this cute play may work out. MC now being forced to pull back here. Phoenixes are not going to be able to be that effective. More Stalkers now coming in as well as the Marines. And very brilliant micro by Marine in order to just maximize this damage. The Medevac looks like it will get destroyed. Hellions getting in a lot of torching now, as there's no more energy for any graviton platters, as the Stalkers are now trying to pull back. MC doing a great job keeping his units alive, and it looks like this will get taken down. Now, I would be very surprised, and yes, I am going to be very surprised, as we still have Banshees being added, especially with these two Phoenixes in the air owning the skies. 27 SCVs compared to 21. Marines are going to perhaps get a little bit of counterattack back here. The Phoenixes look to deal some damage, maybe able to graviton beam. The one Mule would have been a very easy target, as the Phoenixes just looking to do a flyby and not have any serious problem. MC now running off of 3 or 4 gateways, or 4 warp gates plus a Stargate, as the Phoenixes are still just putting in a lot of bit of pressure. We can see now a barracks being added over here. We may have a bit of a swap. Do we have a Phoenix or a Banshee? Yes, there is still one Banshee in the air there. The Banshee needs to stay very close to these Marines. The Banshee, a very expensive unit. It has high DPS, but made of glass, especially when you consider it trying to fight back against those Phoenixes there. Graviton Beam, and oh, the Marines were able to push back that Phoenix, and now that SCV needs to get back to work. Not quite sure what it's doing. Come on, get back to work, SCV. No, apparently not going to get back to work. Okay, there we go. Now, Phoenix is still doing a little bit of flyby, and this is very important for MC. MC needs to harass without really investing, and oh, the Banshee gets taken down. So that is exactly what MC needs to do. He is evening up the losses a little bit more, while not really suffering any losses on his own. Those Phoenixes move so quickly. One of the fastest flying units in the game. I believe it is the fastest flying unit in the game, as now those Phoenixes are looking to push out, and we'll see what's going to be happening here. The siege tank may get picked up, and yes, it is going to suffer a little bit of damage as well. And with no missile turrets on the inside, this is rather difficult. The Phoenixes still have enough energy for perhaps 2 to 3 graviton beams. And now MC is going to follow this up with a proxy pylon and a dark shrine. No detection. Marine King has a very small window of opportunity. The Medevacs getting a little bit too far ahead of the rest of the group. Almost just need to follow the Marines as opposed to moving forward. The siege tanks do have siege tech, and that is going to be important, as we'll see what's going to be happening here. More Marines still being added. This is kind of a very dangerous situation for Marine, as we now see the Marines are pushing forward. There is nothing over here on the low ground, so this is a very defensive posture. A lot of Zealots, though, and Zealots are strong against siege tanks. That is going to be very bad news, as now some gateways are going to get destroyed. There you go. There's the force field. Are you going to be able to pick up the units? Yes, able to pick up the units, and getting in a lot of shell damage there, destroying many of those shields. Marines now attempting to take down some of those units. Marines also being very careful to protect those siege tanks, as we now do have the Dark Shrine up, and the Dark Shrine means, oh, a Dark Templar quickly gets scanner sweeped and destroyed. Siege tanks continuing this push, and what's going to be happening here? Siege tanks, there are siege tanks on the low ground. Force fields, graviton beam up in the air. Marines doing a great job. Marines even without stim, so effective. And now one of the medevacs was destroyed there. A very hot pickup. A Dark Templar now once again walking in. Oh, there's the scanner sweep, and there's the GG by MC. Marine King really using Marines very, very effectively in this 1v1 match up on Shakura's Plateau. Very heavy micro, very smart decision making, and he didn't lose his cool even though MC was able to put in a lot of pressure with just a couple of Phoenixes. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed Game 1 in this series. Stay tuned for Game 2.